I suppose I'm in this space a lot with my clients because
Mm.
often it can be the difference between them trying a color they may not have tried before, or a top with ruffles that they think looks ridiculous on the rack. And then they put it on and go, well, this is perfect.
I love that.
Um, I would say that awareness of the fear that we have in our lives is a very powerful tool. And ultimately, it's fear that stops us. It's nothing else. It's not material wealth. It's not, um, they are factors, but ultimately, it's the fear that we have of the unknown, of failure, and being aware of that fear and going, I'm not going to wait for the day when this fear goes away. People,
Mm.
that's a fallacy. I had listened to this amazing Mel Robbins podcast, and in a different context, she was talking about guilt. And it was in the context of women wanting
Mm.
to do something for themselves and that they always feel guilty.
Yeah.
And the listener had recorded a message and said, Mel, how can I overcome the guilt? And Mel beautifully said, you can't. You've just got to do it anyway. And the
Mm.
good feelings that come from doing the thing that makes you feel guilty, whether it be having a cup of tea in the middle of the day, or going to a spa, or self-nurturing in a way that feels like we're talking about before, that's not nurturing others.
Mm.
You layer upon layer the good feelings that come from those things, and then that becomes the springboard for the next time you have that moment where you're like, I'm too afraid, I feel guilty, whatever. Don't wait for that feeling to go. Just know that on the other side, there are good things for you. Um, so being aware of the fear and know that there's good things on the other side of that fear is a powerful tool. And also, especially if you're on the precipice of starting a business, look, there's no right way. There's absolutely no right way to do it. And women are terrible perfectionists, and we rob ourselves of a lot of joy because we feel like something needs to be perfect. And to
Mm.
that, I would say, fuck it. Things don't need to be perfect. Things just need to be done. And the calling that you have in your heart and in your life to do this thing, that's your higher self saying, I've already done it. Come on, let's do it. Come on, come and meet me here. And self concurrency is how it's a happiness metric, right? And people who are the highest self concurrency are the happiest people. And self concurrency is, I know what I want and I'm getting what I want. So even in a small act, by you taking out your ABN, dropping down a day at work, putting savings aside, setting up a website, starting your social media, they're all steps where you're saying, I know that I want a business and I'm going
Mm.
to get my business. And that is frightening, and there's a lot to overcome, but ultimately it's your definition of you creating the life that you want and having the happiness that you deserve.